There is a fundamental property of how the dopamine system works that is completely ignored by people who are into self-development. It is that dopamine is always released more strongly in response to uncertainty, to the presence or absence of a reward, than to a guaranteed reward. If you take any casino, any roulette wheel, any element of loot boxes in video games, or even some mindless mobile game. For example, I have an app installed, which is sinful, I admit. I play it during short flights when it's impossible to read or really do anything, just to kill time. It's a simple game. You run as a fat guy, collect fruit, and at the end you need to press a button at the right moment to fly as far as possible. Of course, the moment I press the button, the program instantly calculates how far my character will fly. But the game deliberately stretches out this process as much as possible. I press it, and he's flying, and I don't understand. Will he fall here or there? Where the hell will he land? And that moment is when dopamine is released at its maximum. Or for example, in any video game, you buy some item or skins, press a button, and the game chooses which one to show you. And every second while it hasn't shown you yet, that's when dopamine is being released. In a casino, you press the button, the reels start spinning, and you wait. Where is it? And here's the point. We massively poison our enjoyment of life by imagining guaranteed rewards for ourselves. Like, I'll work out, get ripped, and girls will want me. I'll do business, make lots of money, buy whatever I want, drive whatever I want, go wherever I want. Yeah. That's extremely boring, bland, and most importantly, it has very little power. A random hike in the mountains without a guide, just for fun with friends, has more power than becoming a dollar billionaire. Why? Because when you go into the mountains, you have absolutely no idea what awaits you or what you'll encounter. Maybe a bear, maybe mountain villagers, maybe a stream, maybe something else. I'll just share a personal experience. Recently, I randomly woke up at 6 a.m., got on my bike, went to Spain, into the mountains, off the trails, off any paths, just straight through wherever my eyes looked. What an adventure that was. Holy shit. I found some ancient structures of primitive people, and somewhere, no idea what they even were. Then I found some kind of well of life, a natural pool in the middle of the mountains. I found nests of rare birds. And technically, all of this is completely useless crap that changes nothing in my life. But the emotions were 1,000 times stronger than when several million rubles land in my account after a training program or something else. I want you to understand. The more you fill your life with unexpected rewards and the less you plan processes, the more attractive life becomes. From the brain's perspective, all your fancy self-development plans are absolutely uninteresting compared to scrolling the internet. When you open any feed, any news site, anything, it's an adventure. You don't know what you'll find. So I suggest you reset your expectations about what reward you'll get from your actions. Focus on the process, completely rejecting the result. What's happening now, and what will happen in a second, I don't know. And this way, you regain this unconscious drive toward what you're doing. Here's how to ruin any trip. Plan it in detail. Look at photos of people who've been there, videos, reports, and build a rigid itinerary. You'll get about 0% of what you could have gotten if you just went without thinking. Exploring an abandoned building in your own city will give you more emotions than such a trip. Do you get it? And this endless desire to know what happens next really poisons life. How will it look? What will happen? You buy a book, Ralph Mawson. Read it in order. Don't flip to the last page to find out who the killer is. You install a video game, play it. Don't go to YouTube to watch walkthroughs so you can easily beat all the bosses. You have an irrational belief that to enjoy life, you need to win it. No. The moment you start wanting to win at life, you completely lose pleasure. Because two things can happen and both are miserable. You lose, and then everything is pointless. Or you win, but you win without playing. You win using someone else's script, someone else's walkthrough, someone else's stereotypes and templates. Real pleasure in life comes when we play it without trying to win it. We act and simply observe how we change, how the world changes, and what happens to us. When you already know where your actions will lead, it means you're not focused on the actions themselves because they aren't enjoyable enough. It's like going to the cinema knowing the plot in advance. How do you stop looking ahead and predicting outcomes? Once again, do only what you like. When you do only what you like, you don't notice how results come. Even in my own experience, when I started martial arts, I wasn't thinking about competitions at all. I just trained. The coach would ask, "Want to fight in a tournament?" I'd say, "You gonna fight me?" "Well, who knows what'll happen. Let's go." I went, "Yeah, lost, then won." "Holy shit, turns out you can win too." I trained without preparing for anything specific. It was just my life. I was happy and I was winning because I was focused on training. I thought, damn, my buddy keeps beating me. Let me check YouTube to see how to defend against this move and surprise him. Let's see his face when his damn triangle choke doesn't work. When I started doing things I didn't like in training, endless warm-ups, tedious drills, even though I knew they were useful, it poisoned my pleasure. I thought, God, I hate this exercise, but I'll be stronger afterward. Fine, grinding my teeth, I'd do it. And inside I felt awful and bored, thinking, at least I'll win more confidently. But something counterintuitive happened. Because I poisoned the training process with things I disliked, I had to force myself to train. I couldn't keep it up for long. I trained less, started losing more, and began to hate sports. Because I was forcing myself and still losing. That's it. When we poison the process, we poison everything. We create the illusion that we know how things will turn out. But we never know. The future is unpredictable, and over time we need more and more effort to force ourselves. We practice less, lose both enjoyment and results. The only way to restore the surprise of results is to create such an engaging process that it absorbs all our attention and leaves no room for predicting the future. Here's a simple example. When you meet a girl who truly interests and excites you, you don't care what happens tomorrow. Will you marry, break up, live together, or apart? You don't care. You're intoxicated by the moment. But when you're with a girl you've seen twice and she says, "So how will we live? What if we get married?" It's obvious there's no spark, no love, no fire. There's so little between you that space appears for planning ahead. And that's a great thermometer for your life. The more you want to predict and plan, the more miserable you are right now. Go up to a child playing hide and seek and ask, "Why are you doing this? You played yesterday, today, and tomorrow you'll play again. What's the point of life? Who do you want to become?" He'll say, "Dude, leave me alone. They're about to find me. Let's play." And that's the power. When we do what we love, we get everything. Results, unexpected results, and pleasure. As soon as we add something that makes the process unpleasant, we start feeding ourselves with expectations of how great the results will be. And even if we get them, they won't satisfy us because we already poisoned the process. Dopamine works so that uncertainty and anticipation create far stronger spikes than guaranteed rewards. Moreover, guaranteed positive rewards kill motivation. When you know for sure that in a game you can press a cheat code and kill any enemy, the game stops being interesting. Why play at all? You get pleasure only when you struggle, not when you win effortlessly. You enjoy winning because you didn't know if you would. When you reach a point where you always know you'll win, you'll be equally unhappy whether you succeed or fail. So return your focus to the process. Then the surprise of life and its results returns. And with it, the unconscious desire to truly live the moment.